I,
In January the 22nd, I guess the Lord had me in the right place, the right time, with the right commitment. I was president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And then we had agreed that, and I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed, after they signed their names to a petition, that we were going to march as a teacher group. And so on January 22nd, we met at Clark Elementary School here, which was the school where I attended the first grade through the sixth grade. We met upstairs, and we marched up a file. My partner was my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade science teacher. His name was Mr. A.J. Durgan. He was the incoming president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And we led that march, teachers, for the first time in the United States, coming down the steps of Clark Elementary School, down Lawn Street, down to Alabama Avenue, down to the courthouse. Teachers, for the first time. Getting down to the county courthouse, that was standing next to the steps, the superintendent of education, the chairman of the board of education, to persuade me, because I was a teacher, to take the teachers back to the school, because we had made a point, and that no longer should we try to pursue that right from that particular point. And I told them we had a right to be at the county courthouse. It was our courthouse. We were not backing down from our right to be there. And I asked the superintendent and the chairman of the board, who signed my check, to step aside. We went up those steps. Jim Clark had his deputies across the door, and he indicated that we were trying to make a mockery out of his courthouse. And we indicated to him that that was our courthouse also. He gave us 1 minute to move off of those steps. At the expiration of that minute, he took the billy club and jabbed us down the steps on the sidewalk. And my partner, Mr. A.J. Durgan, who, as I said, was my teacher, he was not quite used to that stuff like I was. And he asked me on the ground, he said, "What shall we do?" I said, "We are going back." He said, Yeah. And so we went back the second time. We jabbed down the steps after a minute, and he asked me the same question. I gave him the same answer, and he gave me the same response. The third time we went, I really was trying to get all the teachers arrested because teachers were not aware of the tremendous influence. They were the largest black professional group here in Dallas County. And so after going back the third time, he said, "If you don't get off these steps," Jim Clark said, "we're going to arrest you." I said to him, I said, "Exactly what I want you to do." And so at about 45 seconds before that minute expired, someone on the inside of the courthouse came and pulled him on the inside of the courthouse door and said, I didn't go in there with him, but I can imagine what they told him. "For goodness sake, don't arrest those teachers." And I had a feeling of great triumph and victory.
Let the truth be told. Want the truth, you came to the right show. Yeah. Talk to me, tell me what's going on. Alan and EMJ, we talk about back in the day, to up the gate, and you know it's nothing but love and no hate. FP Reese, it was the okay. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Lineage Show. Okay, let's go. The Lineage. The Lineage.
along the front line of that march. To my left, marched Jose Williams holding his gun. I marched next to him. Mrs. King marched next to me. Dr. King marched next to her. On the way to the Capitol, to hear Dr. King make that speech that day. I sat on that platform, looked out over that sea of humanity, and I had a feeling of great triumph and victory. After having gone through all of the indignities, all of the sacrifice, now it all seems
Welcome to the Lineage Podcast. And we got everything together. MJ Reese, Allen Reese Sr., we are here. Welcome again to this Thursday week. Hey, we didn't want to be nowhere else, man. We are very glad that we are here. We appreciate everybody joining us. It's going to be a great show. We got a couple of great topics to talk about. You know how we do it. We tell the truth here. Like we said in the song, nothing but love and ain't no hate going on here. But y'all already know what we do in the beginning. Y'all know I still got these Invisalign, so y'all got to bear with me here. Y'all know we do in the beginning here. Listen, if you don't have this book, Selma Self-Sacrifice, it is on Amazon. If y'all don't know, I do Uber Black. And me and my brother, you know, he does it also. So we go into a lot of passages. We get a lot of passages. And of course, when we start talking about Granddaddy, it's always great to see their reaction. So I told a few people that the book was on Amazon. And of course, two of my passengers today bought it. They were ecstatic and they said, wow, this is the best Uber ride, period. That's what I'm talking about, history riding in the Uber. So you don't want to, if you don't have this book in your collection, you are losing. This is the autobiography of Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese, the man that orchestrated, I'm going to say it with my chest, I'm going to say it with my chest out. This is the man that was the significant part and the reason that the voting rights movement came through Selma. He is the main reason the voting rights movement came through Selma. It ain't no way around that.
Chief orchestrator.
The chief orchestrator of the voting
rights
movement.
I had some passages today too, man. We went to Clark Howell School, and it educators. They got in the car. They was like, we on our way to Clark Howell. I was like, are y'all educators? I was like, yes. They was from Michigan.
Okay.
And y'all mind being in class for a moment? They was like, yeah. I told about FD man about Granddad. They didn't want to get out the truck, MJ.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was more like, wow. And you his grandson. I was like, yeah. It was like, wow. We really appreciate this moment that you just educated us on the voting rights movement. I basically told them, I said, people don't know that it was an educator who was the leader of that movement. And a lot of times educators are overlooked. And they was like, we didn't know that. And so a few of them was like, man, they Google Granddad, they got the foundation information. They were like, we taking this to our class and we're going to teach this, and we are educators. So they really got out the truck today, man, really proud because they didn't know that educator was the leader of the movement, man. So I need to tell you that earlier too.
Bro. Oh yeah. If y'all don't know me and my brother, we can talk about that journal on another channel. We made some sacrifices so we can have more time to implement into our grandfather's schedule. So we jumped out there on faith, and it's been paying off, man. It's really been a blessing. So it's been able for us to get people in the car that we can tell more about Granddaddy's story, and they are always wild, for lack of better words.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are like, why are you Ubering? But once I tell them, they kind of get a better understanding of once I break everything down and why we kind of made that leap and that sacrifice. And we appreciate that. So get that book written by Reverend Dr. Frederick Reese and Miss Kathy Walters. So you want to have that book, it is on Amazon. Also, the story like my brother just told, the chief orchestrator of the movement, we tell this whole story on this tour, the FD Reese Historical Tour. We will actually be in Selma this Saturday doing a tour. I think it's like 10 or 12 people. I can't remember.
That's right.
We are doing a tour this Saturday morning. So that's another favorite part of this journey we're going on. Not only the Lineage Podcast, but the FD Reese Historical Tour. You have to book this tour. I guarantee you what you think you know about Selma, the voting rights and everything we go into reconstruction and all that. We put, especially my brother, when he put that line up, he put all the pieces of the puzzle together. You would get an introduction by me. You would visit the home. We'll walk across the bridge with you. visit the courthouse, visit Clark, visit R.B. Hudson, where the teachers movement was planned, the teachers march was planned and executed. So we'll break everything down there. So please book the FD Reese Historical Tour. You can just Google it. It's on TripAdvisor, NVA. You just Google it, it'll pop up. Last but not least, the History on Apparel. This is an FD Reese t-shirt. Currently, it is $14. If you want some FD Reese apparel, please go on www.historyonapparel.com and get that. Now, I'm excited. I told you I was going to keep y'all posted about the Artifacts Library Tour. It is official. Our first date will be October the 7th, 2023. We will be at the McDonough Public Library. We'll be there on October 7th and I think November the 18th. We'll keep y'all posted about November, but October the 7th, we will be there. This is the Artifacts Library Tour hosted by the Frederick D. Reese Foundation. Listen, man, you want to be in attendance. Why? Because we are bringing original artifacts that no one else in the world has about the voting rights movement in Selma, Alabama. When I say original, I'm talking about we're going to blow them up and so you can really see what this thing talking about. These are original artifacts that no one else has. Thank God that our grandfather and our grandmother threw nothing away. So when we started doing the FD Reese Historical Tour, and we were just going through the house, making sure everything was clean, we came across hundreds of artifacts that even helps us. These are quote unquote receipts. It even helps us solidifies everything that we're talking. It's our backup. We can put in the front or the back end. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Go ahead, bro. I know you want to elaborate on this.
That's why nobody really talks about us and come after us. Not in public. I'm sure they say things behind our back, but that don't matter to me.
Yeah, don't matter.
Come out in public because them receipts don't lie.
Don't lie.
You go to court, if they was charging you with murder,
right.
Say, look, I was at the gas station in Florida. The murder happened in Georgia at 10:15. I was at the gas station. You bring that receipt.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That you was at that gas station. Guess what? Them charges will be dropped.
Correct.
So that's why I love these artifacts because it keeps the mouths closed of the people who don't like what's doing. You know.
That's right. So y'all come out. Shout out to my daughter for making this fly, but come out to McDonough. We'll be in McDonough. We're gonna keep y'all posted about everything, the upcoming dates. But we're starting here. We're excited, and we had this idea where our president and our chief strategist officer said, "Hey man, why don't we think about doing something like this?" And we put our head together collectively, and we came up with it in Artifacts. So here we go. Come see some artifacts. It's called Art of Facts. It's art and it's facts. This is y'all know what we talking about. Y'all know we like to play on words. We creative, but it's real artifacts, original artifacts that will be displayed here. If you want this fly, hit us up. We'll send it to you so it can remind you of everything we got going on. So please keep those announcements in your heart. Now y'all already know what time it is. First Nurse Kimberly Reese is doing First Nurse thing. She is in the field. And y'all know when she in the field, she always leaves us with her clip and her information and her topic, and she puts it together. And so it's a minute and a half. So I know this month is September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. I got it right, Kim. Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And so that's the topic that she's on for this particular month. So we're gonna go ahead and play First Nurse Kimberly Reese, and then we will be back right after her. So
hello everyone. September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. Unlike normal healthy red blood cells that are smooth and round, people with sickle cells have a sickle or banana shaped blood cell that makes it difficult for oxygen to flow throughout the body. Sickle cells are known to cause anemia, which causes people to feel weak or tired. It is also known to cause blood clots that results in heart attack and strokes for some. Signs and symptoms of sickle cell disease are pain to the chest, back, legs, or arms, anemia, swelling and inflammation to the joints, and jaundice to the eyes and skin. African American descent make up about 90% of the population with sickle cell in the U.S. It also affects people of Hispanic, South Asian, Southern European, and Middle Eastern ancestry. Pain management, staying hydrated, and avoiding triggers such as dehydration, stress, fever, and extreme temperature changes and high altitudes is key in managing this disease. The ultimate aim for awareness is to drive research and treatment options to give those affected with this illness a better quality of life. You can also participate by donating your blood to the Red Cross. You can go to redcrossblood.org to see where the blood drives are being held. Thank you and be blessed.
We appreciate first nurse Kimberly Reese. She's sending us the facts, and she'll be on top of her. She'll be on top of her calling. So I got to give her credit, man. She sent it to me. She sent it to me earlier too. So I already know Kim be doing her research. She be on it. So look, we'll be right back. We're gonna go to a commercial and we'll run into the first topic. We're gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna talk about a little bit of Quavo, a little bit of Jerry Jones again, and we're gonna talk about what Tyler Perry said and how the community reacted to it. So right after this commercial, we're gonna go to our first topic. So y'all don't go nowhere.
I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed that we were going to march.
Nice.
First of all, serving notice on our nation. It's Dr. Frederick Douglass Reese.
We march. We march. We march.
He said, what shall we do? I said, we are going back. He said, yeah.
Welcome back to the Lens Podcast. They brought me to ask you, what you want to talk about first, Jerry Jones or Quavo?
Man, it don't matter whichever one you throw at me first.
Let's do Quavo. Let's do Quavo. So
okay.
we'll go to Quavo and Vice President. Look, my brother got a website, alanreese.com. If you want to book him, speaking engagements, trust me, learn about the history, reconstruction. And he break that thing down. He go down the line. Book him at www.alanreese.com. I'm gonna keep the website down as we talk about this first topic. So I got some pictures, though. I got a couple of pictures. Quavo, if you don't know, Quavo, he's a part of the group Migos from Atlanta. Posted some pictures. Quavo visited the White House and met with Vice President. Is it Kamala or Kamala? I can't remember. I think it's Kamala. I think Kamala, whichever. Kamala Harris, and he showed some pictures of himself at the White House. And I know you touched on this before, bro. When Cardi B met with was it Hillary Clinton? Or was it Megan Thee Stallion? Somebody.
And Joe Biden.
Yeah, and Joe Biden. And I know when you said this to him, I'm like, man, it's sometimes when we talk about stuff, it comes here, it come again. It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's
so what you feel about this? Do you think it's a different objective behind it? What you feel about Quavo?
I would say this. I'm on Quavo. I'm not mad at Quavo. First of all, let me say that. Quavo is just being used as a puppet. But what my point of view from it is that they will continue to invite Quavo, the gangster rappers, the women that were strippers, the women that are half naked, and they bring them to the White House, and they play the music that the music that talks about killing black on black. I don't believe in black on black crime, but I can understand why people feel like it is black on black crime.
Right.
They talk about killing each other. They invite these people to the White House, MJ.
Correct.
I would say this: if Kevin Samuels was still alive, would they invite him? No. Umar doesn't get invited to the White House. Brother X don't get invited to the White House.
Right.
People that they know that will go there, and it's not about all the hoopla about I'm in the White House. Why I don't meet with the president. They will go there strictly on what are you gonna do for our people. You get what I'm saying? We talk about the crime in our neighborhoods, but then these are the people who our government, who we say should make laws to change what's going on in the neighborhood. These are the people that we invite to the White House, and we're okay with it, bro.
Right.
And I'm tired of it. It's none against Quavo. What I'm saying is that I'm tired of the government inviting these people like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, keep putting this music out. We're going to make sure you're not censored. You get what I'm saying? I thought in my mind, I was driving this week and I thought about something. I'm like, you know, I had a homie that got killed in Chicago, AB, God rest his soul. He was a principal. And I had a thought in my mind. I said, man, we think about us as a people. We'll say rip to a person that the streets took their life, turn around and say the streets ain't gonna change, then go in our car and bump the music that is the type of music that is pushing the agenda that just took your loved one in the streets.
Right.
What kind of mind is that, bro? To sit there and do that and say the streets never gonna change. That's a shame what the streets keep doing. The streets not gonna change. We got to do better. But then turn around, go in the car and bump music that is pushing this. That just the reason why you out here saying real. It's like I don't get it. And the president, they can go to the president, but they won't invite me to the White House. I would love to go to the White House. I would love to sit down with Joe Biden, Madam Vice President. I would love to sit down with them and have a real conversation. Because guess what? I don't care about you being the president, your stardom. MJ, I don't care about that. Because I always say when people say, oh man, you can have opportunity to meet Barack Obama, thing. I'm like, Barack Obama should feel honored to meet me because he wouldn't be president if it weren't for my grandfather. That's just the type of mindset I have, MJ. And that's the type of mindset we as black people got to have when we sit at the table doing business. We can't be so into the circus, bro. We are people that stay in the circus, and we allow people to use us. It's no way. I'm not saying Quavo can't go to the White House, but why is it that all these black people who they know that's in the community trying to do things for the community, why is it him that get invited? Why Dr. Umar? I know a lot of people don't like Dr. Umar. Hey, if you about moving black people forward, I'm with you. I'm not going to agree everything you got to say, but I'm not going to hurt you in public. Why not invite Dr. Umar? Why not invite Brother X to the White House and talk to them about what the blacks need and learn your true history? Why get Quavo up there, bro?
Well, you know, first of all, Officer Brown just texted me. Shout out to Officer Brown, man. He said he watching live. Shout out to O Breeze.
O Breeze.
O Breeze. Well, you know, it's an agenda. They want to perpetuate certain things, and because it's about the, like you said, it's about the mindset. So it's about what we're trying to push. So they feel like getting votes is better than actually doing something that's going to change the black community. So they know, okay, what is going to get me back in this seat? Let me get they play the popularity contest. Let me get Quavo. Let me get Cardi B. Let me get Let me get City Girls. Let me get Megan Thee Stallion. Let me get them. So if they see that I'm attached to them, then I can get a certain demographic of voters to go down there and press that button for me. But when I get back in this seat, am I really going to put forth the work and stand and try to put something in black and white to make a change for what these people been asking for? So they not going to invite your people like the Umars or somebody like Alan Reese or somebody like Brother X. They not going to do it because they're not going to be starstruck. They're going to go in there, okay, say now I got my opportunity. Let's talk about some black and white.
That's right. And then what it is, they're going to hold them accountable. Then when they leave out, they're going to go to their followers and say, look, this is what they said and this is what they not going to do. And it's going to paint that picture, man. And it's a shame, MJ. It really is. And we really as black people got to change our mindset. We really do, MJ, because it's a shame that we continue to support these people who don't have our best interest in heart. You know, I keep saying this. We talk about the white man, and I admit the white man has this. This is why I believe black people can't be racist. The white individual has created a systematic racism. They have created a system that has kept black people down. I'm not disputing that. That is real. It is true. It is real. My thing is this: at the same time, at acknowledging that, we as black people got to learn to acknowledge the things that we can control, and we can control what's going on in our community locally. Right. Everything is not about the federal government. Some things is community-based, neighborhoods. What happens in school? You learn about your neighbor. Well, how do you go from neighbor to neighborhood, from neighborhood to community, from community, then you have your city, then your city to county, and it stretches out. So what can we do in our own neighborhood, MJ? And some of the things that we can do is stop allowing our kids to listen to that craziness.
Correct.
What Miss Red say? My and you know it's Red MJ, and we ride in the car. MJ, you know we ride all day.
That's crazy.
We ride all day. We ride in the car and we see these young people playing this music with their kids sitting in the back.
Right.
You get what I'm saying, MJ?
Right.
So what can we do instead of always looking at the white man who has created the systematic system that has kept black people down, using him? What we got to turn to our own people and say, but look what you can control and what you've done.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? When we gonna do that, bro?
Facts.
When we gonna do that? When we gonna do that? It gets on my nerves.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, we aren't nobody is absolved from correction. So just like me and you have gotten on here, we've talked about the system, for lack of better words. We have also talked about what our community self-inflicted wounds. There are wounds there are injuries that's brought upon us, and then there are injuries that we bring upon ourselves. So I think having the balance and talking about both is always great. So we understand the system, but you're 100% right. What can we do in our neighborhoods? And some of that starts at the home. And you're 100% right. They'll be riding the sexy red and the city girls and all that, and just like, think about this, and we'll go to the next topic.
I got one more thing to tell you after you say that. Go ahead.
The city girl sat down in an interview and said she don't want her daughter to be a city girl.
She don't want her daughter to be a city girl, but you want all our daughters to listen to it and be a city girl. What kind of mess is that? It's the same thing when we talk about these rappers who send their kids to private school.
Right.
You know, what I'm saying is that, yeah, you live a better life. You got better. You should do better, but you should teach better too. You know what I'm saying? It's like G's and them. They kids go to private schools. Well, the music you put out there is affecting the mass majority of the people that go to public schools in a economically in depression. So you're putting out one thing, but then turn around for your kids, you put them in private school, and your kids don't listen to your raps,
right?
What songs you made? What kind of is that person really for us? Look, those people are this, MJ, and I'm gonna leave with this. I watched for the first time a movie Will Smith made, Emancipation.
Yeah,
good movie. I think everybody should watch that movie. Strong, wasn't a submissive slave character where he walked a bold line. I love the way they portrayed him in that movie. But another thing, you always got that slave catcher, that black slave catcher with the white man. Now you got the white man in the movie who were the slave catchers and they controlled everything. That's the government. They suppressed slaves. But then I got to turn and look at that black slave catcher. Now, what my job is to let the people today recognize the black slave catcher in today's time. Your black slave catcher is your rappers who hang with the government but won't censor the music. It's your actors who hang with the government that put this crazy mess out there. But they go take pictures with the president and stuff and sit down with them and act like they want to do something for the black community, but they're not doing it. But the things that they put out there goes totally against for us being together and walking together as a people. Those are your slave catchers, MJ. I'm just being real. Gangster rap is a slave catcher.
1,000.
Gangster rap music. I want every black person who listen to me. Gangster rap is a slave catcher because what it's doing is promoting killing other black people. Simple as that. If you love music that glorifies killing other black people, you are a slave catcher.
Yeah.
Okay? Because what a black slave catcher did back in the day, he helped the white man catch a slave, and he helped cut their head off and hang them from a tree and beat them and whoop them. So what gangster rap music is doing today, guess what it's doing? It's putting in a mentally, spiritually. Let's go from a spiritual standpoint. It's putting things in other young black kids' mind to go out there and kill his brother and sister and knock them off.
And most of it be over dumb stuff.
Over dumb stuff. You stepped on my shoes. You on my block, a block that you don't own. Neither one of y'all own. Think about it's more young black men get killed because they are fighting over a block that no one owns. Neither one of them own. The white man own, and guess what? When he tired of you standing out there, he gonna call the police to come move you.
Yep.
Y'all killing each other over a block.
Correct.
You know, MJ? Slave catchers.
Yeah.
Gangster rap is a slave catcher.
100%. 100%. 100%. We can go on this topic out there. We're gonna move to the next topic. If y'all was on the show last week, you saw Jerry Jones. It was an interview, a previous interview that he had. I'll read a little. I still got the pictures up here. Yeah, Jerry Jones said pretty much if blacks feel some kind of way, they should buy their own team and hire who they want to hire. There was an interview in 2020. Now, Jerry Jones today, he said, this was September the 17th, he would carry Magic Johnson piggyback walk across Texas for black NFL owners.
Hey,
so now he went all the way left and then he went all the way right. So, so part of this is talking about, let me raise the banner. Part of this is talking about what he said. But I'll read the last paragraph. He said, some of the representation is not accurate, just not accurate, Jones said, but I do and want to have worked very hard to get minority ownership in NFL, spent a lot of time, and I'm all for that, of course. Jim's a friend. I think a lot of him. I hate that we've got some litigation, and hopefully we will address all of that. But overcome, hold on, let me get this out of the way. But the overall concern, I would just say it is not accurate. Let's see, and it said the NFL has no black majority owners among its 32 teams and only 3 black head coaches, while roughly 60% of the league players are black. And Jerry Jones also said this, he spent a lot of time talking to them, showing them and talking to them about how they could get in the NFL, Jones said. Multiple ways to address inequity, multiple ways to go do it. And certainly I would think about one way is to try to work to get ownership improved in the minority area. And I'm all for it. And I do it. I work at it. That is what Mr. Jerry Jones said recently.
MJ,
what you think about that, bro?
Jerry Jones is talking. I don't know the correct words to say. But my thing is this with this situation. If they want a black owner, I would say this: black owners get treated as a person that the NFL don't like. What I mean by that is the NFL came together and blocked Donald Trump from ever owning the team. They don't want Donald Trump to own the team. Donald Trump wanted to buy the Bills. They won't let him buy Bills because they don't like Donald Trump.
Correct.
That's how they treat black people. Because you got Jay-Z, you got Puff Daddy, you got Oprah, you got Tyler Perry, you got what's his name? Alan, is it Alan Johnson? Alan, I forgot his name. What the Chinese? Brian Allen. It's so many black billionaires that can afford an NFL team. Why? And all these teams, think about it, the Commanders got sold. All these teams lately been getting sold. The Carolina got sold a couple years ago. What other team got? It's been plenty of teams that got sold. Lately. No black owner because they don't want a black owner, MJ.
Right.
They don't want a majority black owner. Right. But I feel like the one that they want, when we finally get one, is one that they can control. It's gonna be a Clarence Thomas type black owner in the NFL. Right. And I'm saying Clarence Thomas. Whoever don't know who Clarence Thomas is, go and Google Clarence Thomas, and you'll know what I mean when I say when the NFL owners decide to let a black owner own an NFL team, he will be a Clarence Thomas.
Yeah. Clarence Thomas, the guy that got in on affirmative action, then just go.
Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas is not black. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what? I would say that Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And the first thing he passed was an Asian crime bill. They got one Asian hate crime bill, and black folks in America has got hung from trees and everything. George Floyd, knee on the neck, everything that's happened to black people in America. Right. And black folks can't get an Asian crime bill. And then Joe Biden says that if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And he passed an Asian crime bill.
Correct.
Come on. Okay? So
five Asians got slapped, and he went on up there.
Millions of black people that got killed coming from
the
Atlantic Ocean, coming down to New York to Georgia to everywhere.
Right.
We still can't get one.
Yeah, millions. And I agree. Jerry Jones, man, he pretty much trying to save face a little bit, man. You know, because his stance has been questionable from the Colin Kaepernick thing to the picture that came out with him being a onlooker when they were trying to desegregate schools when he was in school. Even, you know, when he said, if you stand for he was telling the guys, don't stand, his players, you better not stand for the national anthem. Well, you better not kneel and all that. And you better put your hand over your heart and all of this. He doubled down on you know, being real stern about it. And so I'm in agreement. I think Jerry Jones, he's just he just needs help, bro.
Well, the thing is, MJ, Jerry Jones knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
Jerry Jones speaks to the people who buys his product. Remember, the Dallas Cowboys are worth $0.4 billion. It is the most valued team by far in the NFL.
Correct.
The next one is like 4.5 billion. Okay, right. It's a correlation between Jerry Jones and Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump said, "Make America great again."
Right.
Okay. We know what he was talking about and who he was speaking to, even if he doesn't believe it himself, but he understood his base. He understood what was going to put him in the White House and what works for him. So he talks to his base. Jerry Jones talked to his base of the people who support the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, the Dallas Cowboys are considered Americans' team.
Right.
What American? The same people who most likely voted for Donald Trump that believe in Make America Great Again is probably a supporter and a fan of the Dallas County, of the Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, thanks.
That is the correlation, LJ. That is fact. And they walk around and say, "This is America's team.
Right.
Make America great again." Oh, that sound about to say.
Right. Right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I can't go against that. Okay. Let's get on to the last subject. This mjreesemusic.com. Listen, you go to mjreesemusic.com. You will hear all the songs that centered around my grandfather. And you'll see. I'm gonna put more content up there for y'all for your enjoyment, if you will. But let's go to the last statement first. We're gonna play this video, then we'll get into it. Tyler Perry said something here a couple of days ago, and it had some people in uproar. So we're gonna we're gonna look at it a little bit, then we'll discuss it for our last segment. So
a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift. Right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money. All I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff. You pay the light bill, baby. You can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
It's your topic. It's your topic right here, boy.
Let me say this. I'll say this, and I'll be objective.
Okay.
I think most of the people that had pushback for Tyler, they were missing this point. I think they listened to the light bill and then they just ran with it. Because I looked at the comments, and majority of them were ladies saying, well, Tyler Perry need to preach to the men to be more ambitious and go out there and get it, and this, that, and the third. Jeff, I don't know what that emoji mean. I don't know. I know you thinking, but I don't know if that's a good way or bad way. But I'll say this. His stance on what he's saying, I agree with. If we just want to talk about the light bill, I can. If we want to, if I would have had to say anything I disagree with, it would be that, because I don't think a man should let his woman pay the mortgage, the car note, the car insurance, the water bill, the grocery bill, this, that, and the third, and the gas bill, and the man only pays the light bill.
That's right.
I disagree with that, but what I think he was alluding to is, in a larger scale, he was saying, listen. Now that he said in the black community, so we'll stick on that. He said black women are making more money now than they ever did. So now the playing field is almost equivalent. If you look at the income of black men and the income of black women, it's not too far. It's not too far of a gap like it was back in the day. And I think what he was saying was concentrate on. Because he did say, if he's a good man, if y'all gelling and everything, he did say that in the beginning, make that more of a priority than the financial things that is more perpetuated into the black community, as if that finances overcome everything. Because I will say, if we look at history, and anybody, you don't have to comment. You can think about people in your family or couples that you have known, whether it's your mama, your grandma, aunties, co-workers, that have been married for a substantial amount of years. They will tell you that some of their hardest time was when they did not have money, but it also showed character and made them bond closer together. And that's what keeps a sustainable marriage, because it's not about if the man make all the money, because it's a lot of men out there that make the money, but they're not willing to compromise. They're not willing to submit to their wife. They're not willing to coexist with anyone. And so you see these marriages where these people make all this money. We can look at, and I don't want to go too deep into it, Young G's and Jenny Mai, 2 years they getting a divorce. So a lot of the times it's perpetuated that money will solve 85% of marriages problems, where in reality it won't, because there's a lot of people with money that are miserable together. So I think I agree with what 85% of what Tyler was getting to with this. He was basically saying, listen to my ladies, stop letting money be in the front and look for something deeper than that, because the money will change. And I'm a living witness. When me and my wife first got together before we got married, I was working. I am not ashamed to say it. I was working in the Ross stacking room for $7.25 an hour. And at that particular time, we lived with my best friend for a minute. Then we got our own apartment and moved, so on and so on and so on. Now I probably make almost double and a half what she made. And ain't nothing changed about me, nothing changed about her. Why? Because we looked within our marriage and our relationship, money was not what caused us to be together, or not what the number one thing was in the front. And then that made me even want to be more ambitious and go get it for a woman like that, because she saw my shortcomings in that area, but she still stuck with me and we rode together. Jeff, I disagree. Money does buy happiness. It doesn't. but yeah, that's what I'll say. That's my opinion of what Tyler said in a nutshell. I agree with majority of what he was saying.
Yeah, I agree with majority of what he was saying. I saw Jeff on a comment saying money does buy happiness. I think a relationship that has been through the mud together. And I'm not saying people out here cheating and stuff. I'm talking about when you struggle financially and you stayed in the trenches together, and you build and stacked and gradually grew together, especially financially. I think money does buy the happiness when you put the work in. I think most people don't want to put the work in on the front end to enjoy it on the back end, and that's that's the issue, MJ.
He said doesn't.
Yeah, money. But I think at the end of the day, when you put the work in, and then y'all grew, y'all in time will tell that y'all have grown financially, that money does bring some type of relief and happiness, but you didn't put the work in. And I think what Tyler Perry was saying, that in the beginning, don't let the money be the main thing. See his character, the type of person, because that's cosmetic. Again, one thing about, I think the most powerful is I think women are the most powerful is being in this world, and especially a wife, because what she speaks to her husband, man, he'll go get it.
Right.
He has the power to speak it, MJ. Women have power to speak into things to make, I'm not gonna say your imagination, but your faith to grow. Right. And what I mean by that, most time men bring accountability. I know for my son, most time I bring accountability, but when she speak to AJ, Kim does, it makes him seem like he can go conquer anything. Because women have that power. You get what I'm saying? And I think when a woman looks at that and watch that man gonna go out there and go get the world for her, and he gonna bring it back to her. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Tyler was saying, man. Like, man, look, don't just look at the money. If you're a good man, y'all gonna come up with a plan that's gonna build a foundation, and your finances is gonna rise over time. And that's the best, to look at it like that, man. That it's more sustainable. And I think that's the route to go, bro. That's the route to go.
And you're 100% right in that. And to piggyback on that, yes, you work on your relationship, because 9 times out of 10, finances are gonna grow. Statistics show men don't hit their financial stride to in their 40s.
Especially black men.
Especially black men, sometime in our mid 40s. And so, and what happens, me and my wife talk about is, most of the time, the man, we marry the woman in their prime.
That's right.
If you look at it from the world view, most of the time, if a woman get married in her 20s, son, you scoop the hot one in her prime.
Well, I know I did.
She could have had pick of the litter. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? Then what happens is the prime changes for the men. The man prime happens around 40, late 30s, 40s, because the woman's prime is looked at biologically when she's at her best physical peak. And majority of the time, I know it's some women that gonna push the clock back. They can push the time clock back and they can still have their prime in their early 30s. Okay, please don't.
You tread on some water right there, boy.
Right, but it's just what it is now, because I got to talk to the fellas too.
That's right.
Majority of the time, that's a woman's prime in her 20s and early 30s. That prime switches for a man because we have a financial prime, because we're judged in two different lanes, right? So our financial prime hits when we're in our 40s. So the thing is, just like they say, judge a woman when the man has nothing and judge a man when he has everything. And so, right. So that's that is the complete circle of what happens. Majority of the time, a man in his 20s got nothing, but he scoops a woman in her prime, right? Then it switches to where that woman is coming out her prime, that man is entering his prime, and the relationship is sustainable because he appreciates her more because he knew 10, 15 years ago, she could have picked anybody else, but she chose me in her prime. Now that I'm in my prime, I got to appreciate her and reward her for staying. And those are the best relationships. If you ask any couples that has been married, you can ask your father, mother-in-law, Miss Jolly, been married for years. Our parents, that's most of the time what the complete circle is. So to my fellas out there, if you got a woman that stand by your side while you getting it together, once you get it together,
you got to stay with you. Don't get brand new, fellas. Don't get brand new now. And there's a lot of MJ, let's be honest. We got to be real. We talk about the ladies, but there's a lot of men that get brand new on the back end.
100%.
Let's talk to them, because we talking about the women on the front end.
Right.
That don't want to accept a man because he may have less than her financially. So we're going to talk about them women on the front end. We got to talk about these men who be leaving these women on the back end.
Exactly. And because this is how it should be. As you get it together, you should appreciate her more because she stuck with you in the mud, man.
That's right.
So
it ain't gotta be all about physical. Like, man, please. You got some money now. God dang on, y'all go to the gym, go work out with her. Put some time, and you gotta spend time with her. She done had kids, she done her body done changed, and now you want to get in your prime financially, and now you want to say, well, I'm not attracted to you like I was in your 20s. Well, she done had kids and everything. Go put that work in.
Yeah, you go put the work in. She'll come back. Trust me.
Yeah, go put the work in.
She'll come back. You'll see, and that's another thing. See, and it's crazy. Me and my wife was talking about. I'm not gonna put it out there. A friend that she know. I'll say a friend or a classmate or a coworker. I'll just leave it all right there so nobody know who I'm talking about. But that's kind of how her husband is doing. He's pointing the finger, and I'm like, well, look, tell your friend, he got the man is the leader. It's like, how can I talk about my wife has gained weight and I'm unattractive when I'm not leading her to the gym?
And she was 9 times out of 10, he probably ain't in shape either.
Listen what I'm saying. Even though we know a woman's looks is looked upon different than a man's, but at the same time, if you want your woman in better shape, you need to be leading her.
That's right.
You can't listen. If you want her to go to the gym 3 times a week, you should be going 4 to 5.
That's right. Right, bro.
You got the leader. You got the leader. So to my men out there, and I always say when we having conversations like this, men that just point. See, I'm gonna be a equal. I'm gonna get on men and women. It's equality here on this one. Just like I get on the women, I got to get on the men. Men that do that, what they're doing, they have insecurities and they're trying to control their woman and beat their woman down because they know, honestly, they know their woman can do better than them at the position that they're in at that particular moment. So the only thing they try to do is it's a different objective. They try to beat her down to the level of insecurity that they're feeling in themselves, so their level of inadequacy. And so a true leader, a real man, and ladies, and hear what I'm saying. If a real man come to you and say, can you improve in this? I improve in this. A real man leads in everything that he's saying that needs to be fixed. So if he wants you to go to the gym, he already know. He should know his wife. My wife ain't gonna go to the gym by herself. Let me lead her and get her to a point where she comfortable with it. She in the zone. She in the, it's part of her lifestyle now. And we're gonna do it together. It's all about leading. Women want to look, real women want to be led.
That's true, MJ.
I don't care what nobody say.
That's
real
true.
Women want to be led. And so and I look at and me and Charlene look at Fantasia. Her husband's a great example. Of course, we know Fantasia probably makes triple, quadruple amount of her husband do, right? But you can tell that he's the leader. Why? She has trusted him to lead because of how he says, how he carries himself, what he does, and he gets things done. So real women want to be led, man. It ain't about that. So what Tyler Perry was saying, in a nutshell, if he's a good man, let him work on his finances, y'all work on everything else. Let him be the leader, and I promise you, he'll lead you to success, man. And that's what it is. So.
And that's true. Like you said, women want a man to lead. One of the things I had to learn, being married, and what you said was true. The worst thing you can tell a woman when they ask you a question about a plan, you say you don't know. And I had to learn that, bro. That was one of the things Ken used to be frustrated with me about. I don't know. Don't give me I don't know. Say something, then let's build out the conversation.
Correct.
A real woman, like you said, a real woman gonna ask you, okay, what's the proof? And what you gotta do, even if you don't have the answer, let's have a conversation. And through us talking, we're gonna come up with the answer. But don't say, oh no, and keep moving. And I struggled with that, bro. I really did. And I had to check myself and learn and say, you know what, Alan, you got to do better than that. Don't say you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just say, well, let's discuss it. Well, baby, I don't have all the answers, but let's talk it through, and maybe we'll come up with an answer. Correct. And then we can get things rolling. But as a man, don't just say you don't know and just leave it out. Leave it open.
Because listen. She riding with you. That's one. She's investing her life in you. So you got to let her know something. That's one.
That's right.
Two, because we know the covering. The man answers to God, the woman answers to the man, the children. We already know what time it is. And I've told Charlene this. This is the plan. Do I have the route to the destination all the way? I don't. Because sometimes you don't figure out the direct route until you get on the mission, right?
That's true.
If I tell Charlene this the plan, I just hypothetically, we're gonna buy another car in 2 years. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna make this money. I'm gonna try to save this much money. This is the plan. This is how we're gonna do it. When I get on the mission, that plan may change. The mission is the same.
Mission stay the same,
but the route may be different.
That's right.
What I'm saying, you to the fellas out there, you got to at least tell her the mission now.
That's right.
You got to tell her the mission.
That's right.
And on the way there, because you tell her the mission, let's keep it 1,000. If you tell her the mission and she like it, she gonna help you out.
That's right. And let me tell you,
okay,
ain't nothing like a woman's help, especially your wife help. They gonna help you see it through.
She gonna say, hold up, you say you want to save $500 a week. That's what you want to do. Okay, and that 2 weeks down the line, she's gonna say, what you got? I got $400 short. Okay, here go $100. Cause see, she wanna see the mission through, cause she know it benefit her too now.
That's
right. So if you have that healthy communication, you let her know the mission, and you let her know this is the plan. But the route may change along the way, but this is the mission. We gonna get there. Then I'm gonna keep it 1,000, man. Majority of women would ride with you. if you show good leadership qualities, man. Not saying you're gonna be perfect. You may stumble along the way at times.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I know I'll be hard on the women, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Majority of women, I'm talking about real women, that's secure with herself will ride with you. Now, there's some women out there, they can't handle a mission. They can't handle a man with a mission and a purpose. So they'll talk that noise like, oh, ain't no men out here. But no, because they know they got to be a certain caliber woman to deal with a man like this with a mission and purpose, right? We're not talking about those women. Those are the minority of women. But I got to keep it 1,000. Majority of women, if you got good leadership qualities, you're a good leader, and you set out the mission, and you let them know everything, you communicate good, they're gonna ride with you, man.
That's right. And know and understand this, even as a businessman, entrepreneur, you know, MJ, we've hit roadblocks. We switched up. The mission about FD Reese is still the same. But we've always had to kind of maneuver through areas when we see, okay, that's not working, okay, this and that.
Correct.
One thing about a man, the greatest man understands that he does not have all the answers.
Correct.
And when I reference this, I always reference Jehoshaphat, word that was David's grandson. When the enemy was coming from afar, what Jehoshaphat do, because he know he didn't have the answers, he didn't have the wisdom of his father, and you know David was just after God's own heart.
That's right.
But he didn't have pride. Before he went to God, he went to the people and said and told them to start praying and fasting.
Correct.
And then he went to the leaders around him, and as they was praying and fast, God gave the people around him the answers on how to defeat the enemy that was coming from afar. Now, as a prideful king and a prideful man, he would have felt that God was going to just give him the answer to defeat the enemy that was coming from afar. But he was a man that did not have pride and understood, I might be in charge, but I don't have all the answers. Correct. And I think if we as men tend to have that type of mindset to say that I don't have all the answers, and be open and ask your wife, your lady, for help, and let her know that, look, I don't have all the answers. I am depending on you to help me find the answer.
Correct.
And if you have better insight than me, you got to be a man to be able to listen. MJ, I've been there, got married, I'm paying this. I start off wrong 14, 15 years ago. Wrong, MJ. Then listen to my dad about it's better to have peace than be right. Then listen to none of that. Because I'm saying, but how God allowed for me for wisdom and to be humble.
Right.
And I'm asking our men today to walk in relationships and walk in marriages humbly, and know that she is your true helpmate. Yeah. And she want this marriage, this unity, this family to be just as successful as you do, and treat her as such. You get what I'm saying, bro?
Correct. 100%, man. That's 100%. I agree with every word you said. Yeah, we got it. You know, and like I said, I be hard on the women, but I got to keep it 1,000, man. Man, we got to tighten up with a leader. We want a woman to submit in this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
and I keep it 1,000. You have to be a leader, man. You have to be a leader.
I think you should. I think this conversation can go into next week. We have to talk about the false perception of what a relationship is today with social media. You look at the relationships back in the day, and you look at it today. This inflation and the type of money that a man has to spend to get a woman to even listen to him, to show that he wants to be with her. I hear the stories in the barbershop. I hear these single men talking. The things that these women, man, you just can't take them out. Man, me and my wife first date was at Fridays. We went to Fridays, man. Kim had some steak and something. I had some chicken and something. We went and saw a movie. And that's how our relationship began on our first date. Yeah. Today, a woman wants to get we gotta fly somewhere.
Yeah, and restaurant, she want to go to Ocean now. She want to go
like
to
I
STK.
said,
Yeah.
You to my man Kim at Fridays, I might have spent $35, $40, MJ.
Yeah.
Today, I hear women say if he ain't spending at least $350, they not talking. I'm like, wow. And I really think we need to really have this conversation with women. I really want the women to really be our wives and the women who supposed to be, I know Amanda watches, Anastasia, Kim, Monique. I want these women to come on and comment on next week, because we need to talk about this.
Right.
About how women today feel like, man, you got to spend $300, $400 on the first date. If we ain't doing it, we ain't going out. And how it was on their first dates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's a conversation we need to have, MJ.
Yeah, it is. Hold on, look like getting froze a little bit.
We still here.
Well, I guess it's making us in the stream. So
yeah, it got you froze. We still hear you.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining and being on the Lineage podcast. So we appreciate everybody. So join in next Thursday, and we'll keep everything going. So we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace out.
You might have to end it, bro. Can you?